Prime Minister Narendra Modi is one of the most powerful leaders in the world, and I'm very, very proud to be Indian. I love Indian food, and of course, my favorite Indian food, of course, I love my Parsi food like Hansak, but my all-time favorite dish is Hyderabadi biryani.
Hello and welcome to India.com. I'm Abhishek and I'm being joined by Lord Bilimoria, who is an MP in the House of Lords. Sir, Lord Karan Bilimoria, you still have your first name as the Indian name, and this means that you carry your roots everywhere you go. And how has it been when you come back to India? How do you feel, firstly?
My late father, Lieutenant General Faridun Bilimoria, who retired as Commander-in-Chief of the Central Army in India, when I went to study abroad at the age of 19 from India to the UK, he said, son, wherever you live in the world, integrate with the community you live in to the best of your abilities, but never forget your roots. And I've always remembered that. And to this day, I feel equally at home in the UK and in India. I'm so proud to be British. That country has given me great opportunities. I've been living the British dream. People talk about the American dream. I've lived the British dream. I'm proud to be an Asian in Britain. I'm proud to be a Zoroastrian Parsi. And I'm very, very proud to be Indian.
Wow,
And I
that's
love
really
coming
good.
back to India. I come back to India. Even when I was a student, I would come every year without fail. I would spend up to 2 months a year in India, every year.
Whenever you come back to India, which city specifically do you visit to, or do you like go all over India?
My visits to India tend to be many different cities, even within 1 week. So I'll come to Delhi. My mother lives in Dehradun. My uncles and aunts live in Mumbai. My other uncles and aunts and cousins live in Hyderabad. Hyderabad is where I was born. And then I might go to another city if there's some other official work to be done or visit. So I crisscross India. Sometimes in 5 days, I'll go to 5 cities.
Yeah.
And Hyderabad is, of course, where I was born. Hyderabad is a city that I absolutely love.
So, talking about India and Britain's formal relation, trade relations, and the most important thing that India and Britain are looking for right now is FTA. So, the trade agreement that both of the countries are looking forward for. What is your take on it?
I was very proud to be the first person of Indian origin and the first ethnic minority president of the Confederation of British Industry, the CBI, the equivalent of the CII here in India. And during my tenure in 2022, we started the negotiations of the free trade agreement between the UK and India. An agreement between India, the fifth largest economy in the world, and the UK, the sixth largest economy in the world. And 3 years later, we still have not signed the deal. We've had 14 rounds of negotiations. And I say this to Prime Minister Keir Starmer, and I say this to Prime Minister Narendra Modi, please, let's get this deal done. We're nearly there, just a few outstanding items. Let's do it. I'll tell you why. Because although we're the fifth and sixth largest economies in the world, India is only the 12th largest trading partner of the UK. It should be one of the top 3 trading partners of the UK.
Right.
Bilateral trade in goods and services, as we speak today, is around $50 billion.
Yes.
If we do this deal, guarantee within a few years it'll be $100 billion.
Sure.
And it'll enhance trade, business, and investment both ways between our countries.
Right.
So it'll benefit our countries, it'll benefit our economies, it'll benefit our businesses, it'll benefit our people. So let's do it.
So, one thing that India is mostly worried about also, recently, our foreign minister, S. Jaishankar, when he visited and he did a conversation with the UK, I think, Chatham House. So, he was faced by the Khalistani people, the Khalistani anti-nationals, we call them here, because they have attacked the Indian High Commission in England.
I just would request you, please, to put this into perspective. The overall visit of Minister Jaishankar, of Dr. Jaishankar, to the UK was a huge success. He opened a consulate,
Yes.
an Indian consulate in Manchester. He opened an Indian consulate in Northern Ireland. He had a very good, detailed bilateral with his counterpart, David Lammy, the Foreign Secretary in the UK. The relationship is very strong, is very deep, is very long. This incident that took place, I couldn't go. I was lecturing at Cambridge University at the time, so I couldn't attend the event at Chatham House. Of course, what happened with the attack on the Indian embassy, that is not acceptable. That should not have happened. It should not be allowed. It was unanimously condemned by everybody. But this is a very small minority of people. If you look at the Indian population in the UK, the people of Indian origin make up almost 2 million people. It is the largest ethnic minority diaspora in the UK. But more important than that, and I say this with pride, I boast we're the most successful minority community in the UK by far. Indians are reaching the very top, including an Indian origin Prime Minister recently. I've given you my example with the Confederation of British Industry. I was the first Indian born Chancellor of a Russell Group University in Great Britain, one of the top 100 universities in the world, University of Birmingham. I mean, these are the opportunities that I've been given. This is what people are doing of Indian origin, reaching the very top. The head of King's College, London, one of the top universities in the world, is an Indian. So Indians are doing really well, and the vast majority of these nearly 2 million people of Indian origin love India. They're looking at India with pride as this country that is the fastest growing major economy in the world, this country that is an emerging global economic superpower, this country that is an emerging superpower. There are two superpowers in the world today, the United States and China. Soon there will be three. And people talk about India becoming the third largest economy in the world soon. I predict India will be the largest economy in the world by 2060. So this is the India that the world wants to engage with, the United Kingdom wants to engage with, and that we as the Indian diaspora are proud to be ambassadors for India. We are the living bridge, as Prime Minister Narendra Modi said, between the UK and India. We are proud of India. We love India. That's what we've got to remember.
So, as President Trump steps in to moderate this, mediate the Ukraine and Russia war, what is the UK's take right now? Who exactly is UK supporting? If we talk about PM Kai Starmer, we can definitely see that he is in support of Zelensky, President Zelensky. But what is the UK step now? As Donald Trump is taking every new actions every day.
When Putin invaded Ukraine 3 years ago, he thought he could take over the whole country and the Ukrainians would give up and lay down their arms and let him walk in and take over the country. They didn't do that. They decided to fight. And what has happened in the last 3 years is Ukraine has fought, Russia has fought, and it's led to tragic loss of life. Thousands of people on either side wounded. Ukraine alone has 80,000 amputees. Tragic. Young people whose lives are ruined. This war has got to stop. And India has been very clear from the very beginning that they wanted peace, that they wanted the war to stop. Everyone wants the war to stop. Now is the opportunity for that war to stop. And President Trump is making every effort. I know that Prime Minister Narendra Modi has from day one wanted peace. Let us stop this horrible war. And one of the biggest mistakes that Putin made is that now Sweden and Finland have joined NATO. And these are not just two other countries joining NATO. These are formidable military powers. I mean, Finland has a border almost as long as Ukraine, 1,400 kilometers with Russia. Finland has fought a war with Russia before. Finland can mobilize 300,000 troops within 3 weeks. Finland is a world-class manufacturer of rifles and arms. Sweden is a world-class manufacturer of fighter aircraft, of artillery, of arms. These are defense powers that are now part of NATO. So I think Putin has made a big mistake where that's concerned. So I think this war must stop right now.
So, on a lighter note, again, if when you come back to India, because Indian food is really famous everywhere, which one dish is your favorite? Whenever you come back to India, you are going to eat that dish every time.
So I'm proud to be the founder of Cobra Beer in the UK, an idea as a student that I started after I finished my studies, and today is a household name in the UK, available in almost 7,000 Indian restaurants throughout the United Kingdom. It is the most famous Indian brand in the UK, and I'm proud of that, a household name. And of course, the British now love curry. Curry is the favorite food in the UK. Everyone has curry. At home, they buy the food from supermarkets, they cook curry at home, they go to restaurants, and I love Indian food. And of course, my favorite Indian food, of course, I love my Parsi food like nansak and patrano machi and all those dishes. But my all-time favorite dish, and of course, I love dosas as well. I love
South
dosas
Indian.
from South Indian dosas. I went to boarding school in Uti in
Okay.
Tamil Nadu. But my all-time favorite dish is Hyderabadi biryani, which I
Ah.
love.
Because you you are from Hyderabad originally.
Yes.
That is why the biryani thing is already there.
Yes.
So, do you have something to say to Prime Minister Modi? Like anything about Indian culture, about his current achievements? This is his third term, and he has begun with a very high energetic meteoric start.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi is one of the most powerful leaders in the world. He is Prime Minister of the largest country in the world with over 1.4 billion people. He's been a Prime Minister now for over 10 years. He is a highly respected world leader, and his mission is to encourage, enable, and lead India to progress and go from strength to strength, to make India the superpower that it deserves to be and that it will be. And most importantly, to continue the upliftment of Indians, the per capita of Indians at the moment, which is under $3,000 a year. That needs to be $30,000 a year within the next 30 years so that India is a developed country, never to be looked upon as a developing country, but as a developed country where poverty is completely eradicated. Those are the things that I believe he is striving for, and I wish him every success and will support in every way that I can.
Thank you for joining us and for your kind words for the Prime Minister as well. Thank you.